Clay Schiman is the athletic director and head track coach at Hillsdale High School. What an incredible year of success for your guys, Clay. You've got to be really proud.
Absolutely, very proud. What a fun season, a special season. We had a great group of guys, great team that really put the emphasis on the team this year more than a team I've ever coached, and it was just a great group of guys, great fun.
We talked to you a few weeks ago, so I don't want to cover the same territory. Let's fast forward right to that state track meet.
Yeah.
Obviously a tremendous showing for your guys.
Yeah, they performed very well. At the start of the season, that was a goal we set, was to try to be the MITCA team state champions. And it slowly over the course of the season, you could see the guys buy in more and more. Last year we were 6th in our league. We weren't a special team, and we worked hard, but we weren't there yet. And this year, that was something that we focused on, as being a team. And yeah, that day, everyone performed well. At the banquet on last Thursday, reading off performances, so many kids ran their best, threw their best, jumped their highest or furthest on that day. They really were focused and just determined to come out on top.
So MITCA State Championship, that's the
Yes.
team state. You can enter 3 guys in an event, I believe.
Correct.
And so just one of those days where everything seemed to work, huh?
Yeah, and it takes a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and the kids went out and executed. Every one of them, performed to the way they're capable of, and sometimes even greater. And to win a MITCA team state championship, you can't have a weak event. You've got to be strong across the board, and we were that day, and really all season.
MHSAA state track meet. Obviously, you have 2 first-place finishers who we'll talk to today. Talk a little bit about that meet.
That was another one, and we look at that as more of a great opportunity to go meet our individual goals. And track's such a great sport in that you can combine the two very easily. And so we set some high individual goals as far as trying to get some kids on the podium and relays on the podium and have some state champions. And the kids performed extremely well there. I mean, our 800-meter relay team, they took 3rd, but they ran their best time on the season by 2 seconds. Just things like that. Zach, who you're going to talk to, ran his best time of his life in the 800. Austin did some special things in the long jumps. He took the first jump of the day, set the tone with a really far jump on the first jump of the day, and just went on to perform very well from there. Just a lot of special things happened on that day as well. We finished, the MHSA scores that meet as a team. We took 3rd at that meet.
That's awesome.
Which, really shows the star power. I think the MITCA shows, the team depth and the overall top-to-bottom team strength. MHSA kind of shows, as I said, the star power, and it showed that we had that too.
The MITCA lets you utilize your entire roster.
Exactly.
Whereas the MHSAA track meet, just the athletes that qualified in their events.
Exactly.
So there's the difference there.
Yep.
Zach Hardway, let me put you on the microphone quickly. A state championship in the 800, that's a half a mile. Coming into the meet, did you think you even had a chance to maybe win a state title?
I knew I was up there, but I didn't expect to take home a state title. I had high hopes going into the meet, but I wasn't sure, how everyone else would perform that day, but I just went in and ran my race.
How does that work? I mean, you guys are ranked going into the state meet, so you have some idea of where you sort of stack up, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have your seating position, but I mean, more days the race will play out differently than the seedings will say, so I mean, you really never know because people perform better,
Half a mile is 2 laps. It seems like a sprint when you're doing it. I used to try to run it in middle school, and believe me, I have some bad nightmares from trying to do that at my fastest. What was your time that you ran that night?
1:54.
So you're running a sub 2. You're at 1:54, and was that the best time you'd ever done?
Yeah.
You picked a good time to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, definitely. It felt good. It was fast. So.
How did you do it? It was just adrenaline? I mean, what do you think was the key for you?
The fact that it was a state competition definitely helped me run faster that day.
So how did the field stack up? Did you win by a good margin, or was it right down to the wire?
Yeah, I won by about a second. Yeah, but over the defending state champion. Yeah, over the defending state champion. The last 200, I've always had like a pretty strong kick, so I just took off the last 200 and ended up finishing first, so.
As somebody who will never win a state championship, can you describe to everybody what that feels like when you cross that finish line first?
It's a pretty humbling experience being the first one to cross the finish line at a state competition. So.
And then they have a proper podium that you get to stand up on.
The
how
award
cool!
Ceremony. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Do they play your Hillsdale fight song at that point?
No, no, that's normally what the team does at the end of meets, but we didn't have the whole team that day, so we didn't end up doing it.
Austin Hawkins is a guy that's a great story. Austin, you ran track in middle school, didn't do it your freshman or sophomore year. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
So you just screw around and win a state championship your junior year when you come back. I mean, it's an incredible story. You come back, coach puts you in long jump. Were you having success right away early in the year?
Yeah, at the Hillsdale indoor meet, my first jump since middle school, I jumped 21:10, and from there on, I knew something good would come out of this.
What other events did you do this year besides the long jump?
I did high jump, 4x1 relay, 110 hurdles, any short distance where a coach needed me.
So what's unusual about this story is that most people who win state titles probably ran track their freshman and sophomore year before they won it as a junior. You didn't do that. Do you mind telling us why you didn't run track, and why did you decide to come back this year?
Well, I've always wanted to do a run track, but my heart was always set at baseball, and I was always trying to get to dual sport, but our school never really let students. So finally this year, we tried it out, and it paid off for us.
So Coach Chase and Coach Schiman had to share you, and I know that's frustrating for coaches to try to make that work. Coach Schiman and I have already talked about it. How did you balance your commitment to both teams?
I went to both practices every day, and I definitely tried my hardest at practices and took time off when I needed it, when I was sore. And the coaches understood, and I'm glad they did. And they supported me the whole way.
So you ran, you fired off a 21 plus your first jump at a meet.
Yeah.
So right away, coach is smiling when he sees you sailing through the air.
He didn't believe me at first when I told him, and then then he started believing me, and biggest smile on his face.
So what were you ranked going into the state meet?
I think fourth.
So this was an upset for you to beat all of those guys ranked ahead of you.
Yeah, it sets you from your regional meet. That's where you get seated. So at the regional meet, it wasn't my best jumps. So
you knew you had more in the tank.
Yeah.
Talk about the state championship winning jump. 22 plus, I know, for the state title. Tell me all about it.
Well, my first jump jumped 21.9. Then the very second athlete jumped, got a 22 flat, and from there I knew I had to step it up. And I knew it was a very good jump, and I hit 22.3, and thought to myself, this is a very real possibility of me being a state champion right there. And it was amazing.
So then you got to watch the other guys jump and hope that they scratch or fall on their faces. Or
just scratch, don't get over 22.3 or something.
Did anybody even come close?
Huh?
Did anybody come close?
No, the closest was the 22 flat.
Right on.
That was his first jump, and then he started going down from there, and I was becoming confident.
Well, now people are going to expect things out of you from track next year, right?
Yes, for sure.
He comes and wins a state title as a junior. Coach Schiman, kind of to wrap it up, these two guys, obviously you have to be incredibly excited and proud of them.
Absolutely.
The thing about track, man, is I guess it's true of any of the sports, but for these guys, what do you get, like 3 jumps?
Right, three to make the finals.
You got to do it, man.
Yeah, and same as Zach. That gun goes off once, and then you've got to just shut your mind off a little bit and perform. And so much credit to these guys for not wilting under the pressure and for stepping up and performing the way that that they've shown they can.
This Austin Hawkins story is a great sports story.
Yes, it is.
And I like great sports stories.
Yes.
Did you have any clue that he had this in him, having not run the first 2 years of his high school career?
I remember him in middle school being a stud, and just seeing him in the other sports he plays, knew he had potential. Thought he'd be over a 20-foot long jumper for us. I'd be lying if I told you I thought he was going to be a state champion this year. Until that first meet when he went 21-10. Then I thought, well, we might have something.
I mean, that was only 5 inches off the jump that won the whole thing.
Right, and we'd only practiced long jump twice. So, just such a naturally gifted athlete. And he worked hard this year. Yeah, dual sporting, and he didn't, he did his best whenever he was out there, and a lot of credit goes to him for that.
Your team made a lot of people proud. You gave a lot of excitement to our community this year. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
What an amazing achievement for these guys and your whole team. And now, right in the back of my mind, we start thinking Hornet football.
Yep.
It's just right there in the back a little bit.
Absolutely.
And volleyball and everything
all of our
else.
sports. You got to survive success, and kids got to understand that they need to keep working. And so far, we're seeing that they are going to keep working. So I think there's more success ahead of us, and more good days coming.
Congratulations.
Thank you.